I've said this in the past in different conversations that we've had, but there's the saying, you heal yourself and you heal your family, you heal your family and you heal the world.
Mm.
That it does seem perhaps odd to say that your daughter was healing her family through her pain, but I think in some really beautiful, profound sense, she was. I would just love to hear your thoughts about that and maybe a little bit more about this cycle and pieces that your daughter was carrying that came from her grandmother and your grandmother. Um, what is your thought on why there is this energetic passing down? Is it just the psychological piece? Is it just a, internalized inner voice way of talking to the self, or is there something genetic to it? What are the different components here that we carry and pass on through our lineage?
Yeah, I think it's all of that, Reese. We do have epigen. I can't say the word.
No, you're good.
Epigenetic.
You're good.
What is that word?
Is it epigenetics?
Yes, there we go.
Epigenetic. Okay. Okay.
Epigenetics that say, yes, we carry the stress hormones are passed from mother to mother to mother. Because when you are conceived, when you're inside your mother, so when my mother was inside her mother's womb, she already carried the egg that would someday become me. And, so that is already being bathed in stress hormones and, all of this stuff, depending on what was happening at the time with her mother. And then what was happening in, what her experiences were, what was happening with her when she conceived me. So a lot of this is not in our control, right? It just is. So some of it is biology. Um,
Mhm.
and then I think, too, where, and this kind of goes back to nature and nurture, but it's both, right? Um, where I think it can be triggered by, different things going on in the family. So if there's a lot of stressors going on for whatever reason, um, whether it's actual things like divorce or a death or whatever, or it's just this mental load that we're carrying that, creates all kinds of chaos inside,
Mhm.
because that chaos inside is going to create chaos outside, right? So I always say inward is the new way forward, because if
Mm.
we're not paying attention and choosing to turn inward and check in with what is going on inside of me, in my thoughts, in my body, deep within, in my emotions, am I feeling my emotions? Am I um, disassociating from them? Am I distracted from them? Because that's a huge one, right?
Right.
That's a whole another, yeah. We distract ourselves from our emotions because they're painful. We don't want to feel uncomfortable. And so that goes into this whole pattern of people pleasing and perfectionism, that if I just do everything right and I don't upset anybody, then I will feel okay. I will be okay. I'll be safe. I'll be loved and everything will be fine. Um,
Mm.
yeah. And so I think it's all of that that you had mentioned. It's all of the pieces. And healing is really just awareness of, I don't, this isn't working for me, right?
Mm.
This is, we get to a certain point in our life. And, we all have some version of a bathroom moment where we're looking in the mirror going, who are you? I don't even know you anymore. Um, and that is our moment to go, "Oh, I need to come inward."
Mm,
Because otherwise we're like, "Geez, what's wrong with me? Why am I not happy? I have all the things. I've checked all the boxes. I've got the family, the profession, the house, the money, the whatever. Why can't I just be happy? Am I not grateful? What's wrong with me?"
right. Yeah. It's so multiplicitous, right? Like it really holds so much. Thank you for holding the complexity of that, and I love what you said about the bathroom moment, because as soon as you said that, I was like, "Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about." We have all had that bathroom moment and probably had a few along the way, right? Where it is just kind of like the self, for lack of a better term, like, come to Jesus, that is like, "Okay, we gotta lock in. We have to go inward to go forward." And another thing that I wanted to touch on, I do want to move forward into what this healing process really looked like. But before we turn there, I also want to ask you about how you described this sense of your own relationship to self harm, and that even though it looked very different than your daughter's relationship to self harm, it was a practice that was internally going on within you. And I remember the first time my therapist told me something about how she's like, "That's a self-harming behavior, Reese." And I was like, "Well, I'm not cutting myself. I'm not self-harming the way that it's typically discussed in media." And one, while it's gotten a lot better out over the last 20 years to be able to have open conversations about these things and ending the mental health stigma, there is still so much to unpack and to hold and to bring awareness to. But I know that was really hard for me to reckon with that. But I love myself. I like myself. Why would I do that? Why am I harming myself? And really to sit back and think about, oh, exactly like you said, all the times that I'm cutting myself down or bending myself backwards or squeezing and morphing and merging to try and create a shape that I think will be pleasing to someone else. All of that is like dulling your shine, right? It is watering yourself down. And one of my things for this year, I make a vision manifestation board for my year each year. And one of the quotes that I put on this one that I'm feeling called to share with you is, "I'm done watering myself down. You can choke," which sounds really aggressive. But also, I'm like, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, you know? And if my tea is too strong for you, like, that's okay. But I'm not watering it down anymore. So, all that to say, talk to me about what that realization was like for you